I want to start with this. The largest gasoline pipeline in the country was shut down on Friday. It was a sophisticated ransomware attack, which experts are calling the most dramatic cyber attack on U.S. soil to date. So this happened on Friday. The most dramatic cyber attack on U.S. soil to date, specifically targeting our infrastructure. The story goes on to say the president was alerted on Saturday. Was he in nappy nap time? Where the hell? What happened? What do you mean he was alerted on Saturday? A massive cyber attack happened on Friday. The president was briefed on it and told of it on Saturday. There's a little thing that maybe I think maybe we should probably look into. There's a question for the press to ask. Why the delay? There are now fears of major spikes in gas, oil, and diesel prices after, quote, the jugular of the U.S. fuel pipeline system is forced to suspend operations. It's called the jugular. Unless we sort it out by Tuesday, that's tomorrow, they're in big trouble. The first areas to be impacted would be Atlanta and Tennessee. Then the domino effect goes up to New York. He said oil future traders are now scrambling to meet the demand at a time when U.S. inventories are declining, and demand, especially for fuel for cars, is on the rise as consumers return to the roads and the economy recovers. President Biden briefed on the situation on Saturday, with one energy expert telling Politico it's the most significant and successful attack on energy infrastructure that we know of in the United States. The hackers are likely a professional cyber criminal group and a group dubbed DarkSide. DarkSide is among the potential suspects, according to two government agencies. The Bloomberg News cited people familiar with the matter, reported late on Saturday that the hackers are part of DarkSide, and it took nearly 100 gigabytes of data out of Colonial's network, that's the pipeline, on Thursday, ahead of the pipeline shutdown. DarkSide is known for deploying ransomware and extorting victims while avoiding targets in post-Soviet states. It is believed to be based in Russia. So when you read that it is a cyber attack in Eastern Europe, I would say, yeah, mainly focused around the Crimea area. Eastern Europe. This is killing me, Stu. It's killing me. What was it that Putin said 2 years ago? That World War III would be fought? How? Do you remember?
Well, I think he didn't even say World War III will be fought. Didn't he say it's already started?
It's already started, and the West doesn't know it, and it'll be fought how?
Digitally, right? I can't remember the exact term.
He said ones and zeros. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It'll be, ones and zeros. Mm-hmm. We are in a war. By the way, so the pipeline going down, that's not the only one that has happened now. Lest we forget the 30,000 U.S. victims, small businesses and local governments that were hacked by cyber espionage unit backed by the Chinese government in January of this year. Hackers focused on stealing emails from victim organizations by exploiting flaws in the Microsoft Exchange server, widely used by corporate companies, large companies, and organizations. Since January, Chinese-backed hackers have used 4 flaws in Microsoft software to gain control of the email servers of organizations around the world. There is an Axis power. It is Russia and China. Russia and China. By the way, who is also aligned with Russia and China? Iran. Wow. This is weird. By the way, the attackers on SolarWinds, China was involved with the Microsoft, but also solar winds, kind of connected. Also, the solar winds thing, it appears that was a Russian hack. Over the weekend, I read a story. Experts puzzle over Biden's push to re-enter nuclear deal with hostile Iran. What makes me concerned, says a Middle East expert, what makes me concerned is that we're trying to find a diplomatic solution with a non-diplomatic partner. Oh, really? Oh, really? They're not interested in diplomacy? They just want to destroy the United States? So you know, as we are supposedly negotiating with them, this last weekend, just before Ali Khamenei, the new, Grand Vizier or whatever the hell he is, the head of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, he's about to speak. Right before that, and now here's a nice little video from the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and it shows them marching towards the U.S. Capitol, and then it shows the U.S. Capitol dome exploding. Now, the Grand Vizier. What? Here's the wizard. And the wizard gets up and says all kinds of anti-American stuff, and we're negotiating with them? Can we just start identifying our enemies, please? Can we? I mean, I think it's way high time that we identify China is an enemy of ours. It's not a friend of ours. By the way, I don't know if you saw this. Chinese military scientists were discussing weaponizing SARS coronavirus in a document obtained by the U.S. government. Now, this isn't Gateway Pundit or anything. This is Bloomberg. Scientists in the Chinese military discuss weaponizing coronaviruses in the document obtained by the United States government, where they discuss their ideas about using biological weapons to win a third world war. Apparently, the document, written by the People's Liberation Army scientists and senior Chinese public health officials in 2015, was obtained by the U.S. State Department as it conducted an investigation into the origins of COVID-19. The paper describes coronaviruses as heralding a new era of genetic weapons, says they can be artificially manipulated into an emerging human disease virus and then weaponized and unleashed in a way never before seen. What they were trying to do was to collapse the enemy's healthcare system. Now, the story goes on, and you would ask yourself, gee, when did we have this information? I mean, they wrote it in 2015. When did we get it? Well, first of all, let me just say this. There's no evidence that they did any of this. They're just talking about it. You know, it's like a lot of these Marxists in universities. They're not plotting a revolution. They're just talking about a revolution, okay? By the way, this document was circulated inside the State Department in 2020. It was part of an internal file, but most of that file was never made public for a variety of reasons, including that the Chinese government was blackmailing the State Department to shut up or they wouldn't give us our PPE masks. Does that maybe start to make sense on why China-virus, why everybody all of a sudden in the media was like, we shouldn't talk about China. How dare you talk about China? Because their friends in the State Department are like, you can't talk about China. Isn't it kind of important maybe that we know that the Chinese were discussing this? It may not be what happened, but they were talking about developing a coronavirus and then unleashing it to collapse the enemy's healthcare system. Gee, almost exactly what almost happened. No, don't worry about that. Just leave your dog tags on another table. Let's not talk about China. Let's not talk about who actually crashed the jugular of our oil pipelines. I don't want war, but I got news for you. With the CIA playing footsie with, hey, you're transgendered. We want you. Okay, well, if we're infiltrating something where that person has experience and will fit in, great. How about we just look for spies that are good at their job and don't have anxiety disorders? I mean, there's nobody worse in the CIA than somebody with an anxiety disorder. I don't know if I can do it now. Now that we're here, I don't know. Stop it! Can we maybe get some people that don't look at the United States as the enemy, because this Biden administration is doing the job for our enemies?